live on YouTube. Just got to get this chat up and then we're good to go. How's everybody's nights going? Hopefully good. Anybody avoiding the snow? I'm getting snowed in right now as we speak. Blizzard. Unfortunate, but is what it is. Alright, got my YouTube chat up. Cool. So yeah, I mean, look. Just had CME open. BTC dumped. If you guys were tuned in earlier, I actually was talking about this move on BTC, right? And we said, we're like, look, we lost that trend. Like, you know, it could come down. And I said, if it lost that 618, which was right down here, I was looking for a 618 bounce. I'm like, if it blows right through it, I was like, any hopes of a bounce are off. It's coming to the low. So I think 65K is incoming. I mean, we pretty much almost hit it on BTC. I caught the short. A few people in the Discord caught the short. A couple guys that were short from up here. I got short right here. I'll show you guys real quick. And by the way, if you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Eddie. I'm a trader at Tactical Edge Trading. We have a website, tacticaledgetraders.com. We have free courses on how to trade, markets, all that kind of stuff. Free. We don't gatekeep that stuff. So check us out. And if you want to join our free Discord, it's links are in the bio and description, depending on if you're watching on YouTube or TikTok, or you can get the link directly from the website I just talked about. But anyway, we're a trading group, and, you know, we share setups, and we talk about our setups, and this was one of them. And I saw this. Look, I missed their initial breakdown, right? A couple people caught that. Kudos to them. Happy for every single one of them, right? They're short. I waited for the breakdown here. I saw the range low hit. I saw we were failing to reclaim, and then I saw a little bit of a trend forming on the 15. And when that trend broke, I was like, I'm in. Because I knew this was a bear flag, and I knew this was a level we had to get back above, and we didn't do it. So, and look at that, smash straight down. So, I mean, fucking hell of a short, right? I did close out though. Yep, at Tactical Edge Trading. BBC going crazy. A lot of things are going crazy right now, dude. See gold? Let's go look at gold. Another one I talked about, I said, hey, man, I said this yesterday. I said it Friday night, because we didn't stream yesterday. I said, this could be a bull flag. Wait for Sunday open to see what happens. And we were sitting right here, and I was like, maybe this is going to break through the 5,100 level. And it looks like it is. It looks like we're getting that break at 51. I think gold's on its move up. I mean, just look at that. It's beautiful. That is a beautiful breakout. And it's clearing that level. So as long as it doesn't come back down and start to lose this 5120 level, 5100 level, I mean, I think gold's going to make its way back up to its all-time high, or has a high probability of doing so. But if I just take the measured move of this little flag right here, I mean, that takes us at least up to 5,400. So, and it doesn't surprise me either, because I mean, let's just think about everything that's going on. We talked about this last week. Ben mentioned it. I mentioned it. I mean, you got the war scares with Iran and U.S. You got bad PCE. You got bad GDP. I mean, we got a lot of events coming up this week, man. The market's scared. They're de-risking, and it's not crazy either. Like you almost expect it. Let's talk about some of the stuff we got this week, right? So we got a ton of earnings, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'll talk about the big ones real quick. I'm just going to kind of go down. HP, a couple ones I've noticed. Home Depot, right? That's Tuesday. We go on the Wednesday. We got Nvidia after close. All I'm saying is if Nvidia is usually the biggest earnings we all look forward to. So that's like the Super Bowl for the of earnings. So that's Wednesday, guys, after market. You got Dell, CrowdStrike, man. A lot of ones up here. I'm seeing a lot of things. Those are all on Friday, though. We got more GDP coming out. We have initial jobless claims on Thursday. That's just, economic data. It's going to be big. But the big one is PPI on Friday. PPI and core PPI, right? I mean, fucking PCE came in hot. I mean, if PPI comes in hot, market's really not going to like that at all. So just keep that in mind, guys. Just want to go over a couple of those things. Part of being a trader is keeping up with the news, unfortunately. Like, it's not fun. It's not the great thing, but, it's part of the job, It's just like looking at the weather before you commute to work every day. You gotta know what what the weather looks like in, the forecast for the trading. That's economic data, earnings, depending on what you're in. Big week this week. Yeah, Ben's right. Nvidia, Home Depot. Yeah, we're just touching on that, man. It's a tough time for gold right now. So volatile. It's tough to trade it. I actually caught this long, but I didn't stay in it too long, man. I was too scared. But I did catch that short on BTC. I know you saw that in the freaking trade recap, Ben. I was in it for, I'll tell you how long I was in. I was in it for 1 hour. And it dropped like almost $2,000. So I was good. I'm happy. But yeah, dude, gold, I think gold's going to run up. I mean, look, if the money's not going into the stock market, it's coming out, right? It's not going into crypto. It's coming out. Where's the money going? It's going probably into gold, and I'm going to bet it's going into the DXY at some point. It's not even going into the DXY. What the hell am I talking about? I mean, look at DXY. It looks like shit. It's like right on the, it's so close to a monster bounce. I got to go to the monthly to show you guys this chart. By the way, anybody who doesn't know what the DXY is, it's the dollar index. It just shows the strength of the dollar. When this is going down, money's typically, your money is going to go further. When it's going up, it's worse. So like right now, like risk on assets are should be high. When this starts to bounce, it's going to affect the risk on assets, the dollar valuations, your stock market, S&P, all that stuff. Yeah, I gotcha. All right, so before I get into any requests, what I'm going to say is if you're not following us, give us a follow on TikTok. We do lives about 5-6 days a week. Most weeks, 6 days. Market updates. Subscribe on YouTube and hit that like. It helps out the channel, helps out the algo, helps us out, keeps us motivated for you guys. Someone said gold buy now entry 5150, set TP 5170. Confirm signal guys, don't want to miss much. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Don't listen to signals, people, man. These guys are full of shit. Real talk, real talk. I don't care that you're even doing it in my chat. I'm just straight up telling you. It's like, you know what I think of signals bros like? The people that are showing their shit. It's like a fucking telemarketer to me as a trader. That's what that sounds like. It's bullshit. Like, stop wasting my time. What's up, trending? Well, I'm just telling you how I feel, okay? Free VIP gold. That's your name? Jesus Christ, dude. You aren't even trying. You're worse than those fucking emails from like some fucking chancellor in Africa telling me like he needs me for some reason, me to cash out his money, but he's going to give me a reward of $1 million. That's what you sound like right now, dude. Just saying. I'm keeping it real. All right, look, so somebody asked for SoFi. All right, well, we're approaching an interesting area, right? Obviously, SoFi top back in, October, November, Q4, where a lot of things top. We're pulling back at the moment, right? He said the market is flooded with telemarketers and grifters. Yeah, it's seriously, bro. Dude, I like the telemarketers. I like to fuck with them. Ask Ben. Ask the guys in the Discord. Every time I get like a call from a scammer, dude, I always entertain it and get them. I try to get them like to hate life a little bit because they're like, inconveniencing me. So look, $17, $18 is going to be an area of interest. Why? Because look, previous high right there. If I pull a fib from the low here, I'll bet you it lines up with a 618, and it does. Look, 1764. So we got some confluence at this low. I'm going to look to that low. If I was in SoFi, I'd be looking to that low for a bounce. Nothing really in the way. I'm going to get rid of the 618. We don't really need that. Nothing really between us and there. No real resistance. The only resistance we have, if let's say we do pull back a little bit, right? Let's say we do get a little bit of a bounce from here. You got a little bit of an area right here that might serve as like a little bit of undercarriage of that previous breakdown or like that little consolidation right there. A little bit of an undercarriage. Maybe that holds up as a little bit of chop. You see right here it did. So we can kind of just like use this area as like potential turbulence and upside. So if we get any pullbacks, this might, serve as resistance. We start breaking above this high here around 22. I think we open the gates to get maybe back up to this $25 area on SoFi. But right now the trend is down. So I'd be looking to the downside. I'd be looking down here to see if we get a bounce. We start to get a bounce, establish some support. Then you start talking about what can potentially happen. But for now, that's your level. You start to lose this level, this thing could drop down pretty hard. Your next support is not till what, $13, $12, $13 down there. So key is to hold that 1750. I'm just rounding. So, but around that area for SoFi. Look, Trend's down, dude. Just don't fade the trend. Let's see what else. Somebody asked for something else. Hood. Let's go check out some Hood. Yo, Kush. Kush, how's your Aster trade going, brother? I bet you that thing's looking good. I'm gonna go look at some Hood. Actually, I want to look at that Aster trade. I want to see how you're doing, man. We talked about that earlier today, and I told you my 2 cents on it, what I would do. I want to see if it's actually gotten to that level or broken down below it. And if you're still short, I know you're killing it. So Robinhood, we're still in the same spot we were in there a few days ago. Not much has really changed. Look, we're not going to see a lot of these stocks. If I TA this Friday and you're asking for the same stock, the market's open tomorrow. So we're not going to see too much change in these things until then. What I am looking at is the 4 hour to see if the futures market is different. It's down a few cents, but it's not down too much. But ultimately, look, you got 2 areas of interest right now you need to be focused on. You have this gap to the upside. It's a CME gap. It's just a gap that the market put behind on the weekends when it closed on Friday and opened at a different price. It left behind a gap. A lot of times those are targets for traders, targets for the market. So to the upside, you have between 80 and about 85, 86 is a nice little gap there. If they make their way up there, I would look for that to break. If it does break, break or rejection, because this was going to act as support or resist. It's going to act as resistance once you get up to it. And if it does break, maybe it gets up to 55, 85. And if it can break this high around 87, 88, then maybe it'll tack a little bit higher up. I got the next level up is really around 96, 97. But to the downside, right, you got 2 levels. You got this 71 you're currently holding as a low. But my low for this one was closer to around 65. So the fact that they're front running it is a little bit like, makes you a little cautious. So what I would think is just wait to see what happens. Go to the lower time frame. I have this little trend drawn out, right? This trend's going to be your first indicator of whether this thing's going to come down. So watch the trend, set an alert there. Maybe set an alert up here around 79, 80 bucks, right? And to see what happens. Because what's going to end up happening is one of 2 things. It's either going to come attack this and it's going to make a decision, rejection or breakthrough, right? Or rejection, right? Or it's going to do this. It's not going to even make it up there. It's going to just continue in this range, and it's going to start to roll over, and it's going to probably attack this low at 71 first. We break that. We come down to that 67, 66 area. So for now, you're just kind of playing this little range right now, just watching to see what price does. I'd be sitting on my hands, not really doing too much. Let price action tell you which direction it's going to go. Don't try to guess. But yeah, that's Robinhood. We'll see what happens tomorrow. What app do I use? I use TradingView, Tommy. That's where you see me doing TA right now. It's free to use. You can download it on your phone, your PC. They have apps. You can use it on a browser. It's wonderful, dude. You can use demo mode on it if you want to practice trading. You can use real live market data to actually plan when you would have entered and exited, and it'll give you a good idea if your strategy's working. It's good for people who are new into trading. There's upgrades, and they're going to try to sell you on it. There's a bunch of new upgrades. But if you're new, man, go for the free package or the basic package, just maybe the one up that costs you a couple bucks a month. And then you should be all right with this thing. And if you're looking to learn how to trade, check out our website, tacticaledgetraders.com. Ben did a really good job putting together some free courses, and they're going to teach you everything he knows. And he's a successful trader, full-time trader. He's been doing it for about a decade. And then you can join our Discord as well for free. The links are in the bio. You can sub here, follow here if you're on TikTok or YouTube. And we go live 6 days a week, and you can just kind of pick up on things as you go if you're trying to learn how to trade. That's what I would do. That's what I would recommend to a new trader. SoFi's cooked? Yeah, right? So we're actually talking about a new one right now, but the one I'm using at the moment, I just have a Fidelity. I do a lot of my trading right now in a prop firm, but we are in the talks with a few different ones. We're trying to get one nailed down that we really like. I'm trying out a few. The guys are trying out a few. We use them. If you're gonna use a broker, it really doesn't matter which one. Just don't make sure you're not getting burnt. Make sure you're using something that's reputable. Fidelity, Webull. You can even use Robinhood. At the end of the day, it's just make sure you're not getting killed on swap fees, like holding a trade overnight. If you're getting hit with those, try to find one that doesn't give the swap fees. You want to get free swap. That's really like the secret. It's like the secret fees that'll end up eating away at your gains. So find one that you like. If you join the Discord, we'll probably be announcing some in the coming days, ones that we've been talking to that we've liked, and once we've got like our like full assessment on it, we'll probably drop those in Discord. So you can always join there and keep an eye out. Yeah, trending. I could do some NQ shaker. We do both profits from day trading long term. Yeah. Yep, Ben is 100% right. That's Ben, by the way, guys, in the chat. What do you think about HIMS right now? So let me go look at NQ, then I'm going to go look at HIMS for you, all right? And then, oh yeah, CrowdStrike does have earnings this week, so it's going to be interesting to watch out for that one. It's going to be an interesting one. So look, I got a lot of LARP lines from earlier, so I'm going to use the US 100 for NQ, but it's the same thing, guys. It's just the futures. It's what I trade on my my firm, for my prop firm for trading. This happens to be it, so I mark this one up a lot. But I've back tested. It's exactly the same. Maybe the dollar valuation might be off by a few dollars, but the levels look the same. The charts look the same. So I'm just getting rid of some stuff. So look, we're in this range. I'm gonna go to a higher time frame. Let me zoom out. All right. We got support down here at the low 24,000s and at the high around 26,000 resistance. That's the range high. We're in the middle of that. We're in the middle of the range. We're trying to figure out which direction this thing wants to go. Right now it was flirting with a breakout, but it's starting to look like the futures market's pushing it down a little bit. Like we're pushing down through futures. This could play out one of two ways. You see how like internally in this range, we have a trend that's going down. If this breakout doesn't sustain, this is going to probably turn into a bear flag. And oftentimes, fake breakouts are usually strong moves in the opposite direction. So you'll probably see something like that happen going into tomorrow if it can't manage to sustain and regain this trend. You're probably going to see a pushback down to the lows because that's what's next. You got a little bit of support around 24,300, but I think this is the untapped level. This is probably where it comes to. So if we continue down, if we can break this trend and, we start attacking highs around 25.3, and then if we can break 25.3, I think you got a good shot at the range high around 26.2, 26.3. So NQ is going to be an interesting week, man. We got a lot of things coming up that could really swing the market one direction or the other. So it's exciting, man. Keep an eye on this one. I think the real move happens tomorrow on NQ. I can give you analysis today, but everything could go out the door tomorrow when New York opens. So just keep that in mind. Talk to me tomorrow night and I'll have a better idea which way we're going this direction. And this week as far as direction goes. But yeah, let me go look at HIMS real quick. Somebody asked for that. Weeble. Yeah. RXT, I'm a registered IA. This guy is solid. Did prop at SM. Thanks, Alex. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that, man. I'm not trying to sell anybody any bullshit here. You're not gonna see me talk about some special formula. Like TA's simple, man. The information's out there on the internet. You just gotta siphon through all the bullshit to get to it. Unfortunately, we managed to do that in our group. So if you're interested and you want to kind of get through all the bullshit and find out what actually works in the markets, check us out, tacticaltraders.com. Or follow us here on TikTok or sub on YouTube. All those fun things. So look, man, this has got a lot of levels here. Hims and hers, right? I got a lot of things marked up, but I'm trying to build some context here. So on the weekly, if I get rid of all my little LARP lines, all my little things, right? Just focus on the big things. Where are we? Well, we're beneath trend, and we've lost the 2024 and not the 2024, but we lost the 2025 lows. This is a weekly low. We had held it twice. It was the original breakout from 2024 into 2025 that took us to its all-time, well, not all-time high. Yeah, is it all-time high? Yeah, it was. Okay, so the all-time high around 70. Then we put in this nice little triple top, and we start to come down pretty hard. We didn't even stop at the trend. We didn't stop at support here. We just blew right through this. So the sellers are really in control here, and that's obvious. The next level to the downside is it's 13, man. I think it's on its way there. Does it bounce before it gets there? That's the real question. There are some areas of interest on the chart to the upside, but I think the only area I'm interested to the downside is this low here at 1340. But you do have this CME gap. Like I talked about earlier, CME gaps are just gaps when when the market was closed, wherever it closed on Friday, it opened at a different price on Monday. And that's what happens here. Oftentimes, we like to come back for those. So that's going to serve as an area of interest to the upside. And your second area of interest is going to be up close to $25. So you're looking at around $19 to $21 to the upside as an area of interest. If we do start to move up, that could be a target for them to move up. But to the downside, it's $13.49. But right now, the trend is down and it looks weak. I'm going to be straight up with you. This don't look too strong. It's just kind of fading, right? You know what I mean? Like, I don't see any market structure even on the 4-hour that's telling me this thing is ready to move up. So it's down till it's not, man. Down till it's not. So, but those are your levels on HIMS. Yeah, dude. Mowgli 317 is 100% right. Take profits on base hit, not home runs, compounding gains. That is the miracle of trading. That is something that most traders will fail to realize in their beginning, because they'll see a setup and they'll just, for some reason, be looking to swing for the fence on every trade. I used to do it myself, so I know he's 100% right there. HIMS earnings tomorrow. Yeah, dude. Well, look, here's my little tip for you. If you're going into earnings and you've been bleeding out into earnings, either somebody knows something or people are worried, right? So what I would do is wait for earnings, see how price reacts. That could, if for some reason, like this would be like crazy, right? But what if we ended up down here going into earnings and price stalls? And maybe that's where it pivots. Maybe earnings come out decent. People are like, oh shit. You know, and then maybe it runs up a little bit. But then we still have our areas above. Those don't change. But that's the area. If I was going to be looking for longs, I'd be looking for longs down here. So if that just happens to coincide with earnings tomorrow, maybe there's a trade there. I don't know. Depends on you. You got $5K tomorrow, where to put it? Keep it in your bank account, bro. If you're asking people on the internet where to put your money, you probably shouldn't be doing anything with it. Keep that shit in your bank. Don't put it anywhere. The downtrend always starts on Fridays. I'm at a Clyde's having a drink. Good for you, man. Partnership with Palantir, 84 million float. Okay, so RXT. You did ask for RXT. Let me go look at that. Rackspace Technology. You said they got a partnership with Palantir. Holy shit. Yeah, they do, don't they? Look at that. They have earnings coming up too? I see earnings. Yeah, earnings this week, Thursday. So this will be one to watch. So let me get a quick look at what's happening here. Damn, I've looked at this one before because I could tell I've done something with this. But anyway, we'll do some fresh charting. Let's get some weekly levels marked out, and then we can kind of zoom in and see what's happening. So let's start with the big level right here that we just reclaimed, which is $1. No surprise there, right? And then you got $3 is the range high. So everything in between is just going to be like kind of support and resistance, but you could see like those are your big levels, right? And we're kind of coming up to the midpoint right there. And you could see why this is important, right? Resistance, support. It was support for a second, then we lost it and became resistance again. So just to narrow this down, right? We left the gap down below $1. So if we do manage to lose $1, you bet your butt they're coming back probably to fill this down to 50 cents. Maybe not the whole thing, but they're going to probably take some. If they do, so like anything below this level is going to show you intent to fill this gap. So just be wary of that. Right now it looks strong though, because look at this. Had that pump, we had a back test of this level to verify, hey, is this a good level? And we said, yup, and it ran up. But we are getting rejected at that $2 level. Psychological level also happened to be range high before, or like the midpoint. But, you know, on this little mini range, this is the high. So for now, it's going to dribble between $1 and $2 until it either picks a direction. It's either going to go above $2 and make its way up for $3. And you can see it doesn't really stop too much, right? When it flips, it just goes. And when it rejects, it goes. There's no real, like, yeah, we chop around a little bit once we start the range. But, like, when it's got intent, it's making its way to either end. So you're looking for two plays, man, going into earnings. You're looking to see, can we flip? You know what I mean? Can we flip this, turn that into support, and then run up to 3? Or do we come back down to $1? And then when we get to $1, what do we do? Do we bounce here? Like, there's a lot of things, but these are levels you need to watch. I could give you endless scenarios right now, what could happen. But there's just levels of interest, so keep your eye there. But I mean, so far it looks good. I'll look at the volume real quick, take a look at the indicators, see if they're giving us anything behind the scenes that might kind of tell us this move is sustainable. But I mean, the weekly looks good. Stochastic's down. I mean, look at the double RSIs on my market cipher are pointed straight up. They're together. Let's go look at volume on the weekly. I'm doing high time frame stuff. I mean, volume's there. Look at that shit straight up. Daily straight up. So I mean, this is a real move. It's not bullshit. But after big green candles, you never want to buy. So what you're looking for is either a pullback or you're looking for a resistance to flip into support. So I mean, if I were looking to go long, I'd wait for $2 to flip, or I'd wait for a pullback back down to $1. That's probably the places I'd be looking for longs. So those are my two plays right there on that one. But yeah. Keep that in your bank. Yeah, Ben's right, man. He knows what I'm talking about. He would have said the same thing to you. And then he would have probably told you to join the group, tacticalEdgeTraders.com, and learn this shit first. Learn the markets. Understand what you're doing first. And then, I could tell you one thing about our traders. And we're talking about brand new traders that, go for one-on-one mentorship under Ben. He never has them put money right in the market. And when they do, it doesn't matter how much money you have. Usually starts you out with like hey, $100, $200 into the exchange, and we're not going to do anything until we can figure out, are you profitable or not, and can we get you profitable once you've built a system. So, and and then you have to earn it. Like the way an account should grow is by earning it. It should be by compounding the money, and you don't just start tossing money into it and growing it just organic. You want to let it grow normally organic, or if you're going to scale up, you need to earn that shit. Prove it to yourself through weeks and months of, steady growth in your account. Your equity curve needs to be up, not going like fucking this. You know what I mean? It should be it should look like, it's not going to look like this volume, but it should generally move up in an uptrend. Sup with Bitcoin? We hit 80K. Yeah, dude. Let me go look at Bitcoin real quick. All right. We didn't really talk about it too much. I just talked about the short. So look, I'm watching this level right now. I was looking for the sweep of 65. So what I'm looking for now, can we hold 65? If we don't hold this level here, and I don't see, right now I'm looking for the SFP because we swept liquidity. Can we hold above this level, and did we make a bounce? That maybe was the target. But honestly, if we start to lose this level, it becomes more and more that we're probably coming for this wick low. So I would say this 65K is going to be our decision point. If we don't hold this through the week, probably coming down here. Simple. So, I mean, yeah, it's not great. I mean, we lost the pattern. If I take out all these lines, let me just get rid of some of these lines and kind of paint the picture, right? I'm a patterns guy. And anybody who understands patterns will get where I'm going with this. But look, if you're just thinking simple, right? Just simple. This was a little bit of symmetrical triangle. We talked about this the other day, and we said if it breaks up, it's probably going to result in a move to the upside. And if it breaks down, it's probably going to result in a move back down to this level. And if it loses this level, it'll come back down to around 60K. Well, we've done A already. Now all that's left is B. So, and then if you take the measured move of something like this, you take the width, right? And then you take it to right about here. Look, what does that take us? The breakdown will take us down to about 59K if it plays out in full. Maybe, you can underpull a little bit, give it a little bit of a, there's different ways to pull these measured moves, but the gist is down here if we lose this level. Plus, just look at it, there's nothing below us. So it's gonna be an interesting week, man. But I can tell you this one: if gold's doing this right now, and I told you what gold is gonna do. If gold is gonna keep pushing up, expect everything to go down. Expect everything else to do the inverse, because when gold's moving up aggressively like that, it's not a good thing. It's never a good thing, guys. And Nvidia earnings are Wednesday. Yep. Tech is going to get wrecked, dude. Let's go look at Nvidia real quick. Let's see how Nvidia's. Let's see, look. Nvidia. Oh, this is going to. Hey, Ben, I already know what they're planning, man. Look at this shit. So, if I was a market maker, or if I was just the market, and I want to trap as many people as possible, I'm probably going to go grab this high. This 194 high right up here on NVIDIA, right? You can see how it's been ranging between 194 and 170. We got liquidity to the upside, liquidity to the downside. If we push into this going into earnings and they take this high, I'm expecting this to happen. Boom. And if they take that high, you best believe they're going to do the full sweep of this entire range. They're going to take the whole thing back. So watch it. Look how volume's starting to fade, right, on the daily. I'd watch for the sweep up here of this 194, 195. It might pop higher too. Don't get faked out. What I would look for is this. This is the exact play I'm going to look for this week on like a swing level. I'll look for price to push up. I don't care what it does up there, but I want it to look for it to break back into this range, and I want to see a back test confirmation, and then I'm looking for an entry right there. I'll pop my stop off whatever high they put there, and I will target the range low as an easy 6-to-1 trade, 7-to-1 trade you could probably get depending on your entry. And look, let's be honest, if it does do that sweep, it's probably going to go lower than that. I mean, if we have a full-on meltdown in the markets, this head and shoulders probably breaks. If this low breaks, this head and shoulders plays out, this thing probably comes down to 150, 140 is its next target. It's that box I have below it. It's the next logical place, right? There ain't anything between us and there. So there's some pit stops around 160, you know. Maybe 150 we get a bounce, 160 we get a bounce, but the volume's generally trending down, guys. Going up into earnings, man. Oof. I know that play. I'm going to be looking for that one in the Discord. Just look out in the Discord. You'll probably see me fucking posting this in a couple days going into earnings. I won't touch it till then, though. I'm just going to let it chill, let it do its thing. I hope it gets up here by earnings. If it gets up to 212, even better. I'll short the top. But that's just me talking shit a little bit. We could look at some Tesla. I got Amazon, Tesla. You seeing a 74% drop at 32,800. I guess you're talking about Bitcoin. We got some predictions in them. Look, we've talked about scenarios where Bitcoin gets down to the 30s. It's not out the cards. It's definitely there. We can look at Amazon real quick. Then I'll look at some Tesla. And I gotta look at SWE. Someone wants to look at crypto. I got a lot of TA on this bad boy. Okay. So I got to break this down for you guys. So we had the initial head and shoulders off the high at 240. We lost the trend back from the tariff lows back in April of March 2025. Right there. When we lost it, we shot right down to where? We took everything out, even the range low. We went right down to this CME gap we left behind back in April, back during that month when we pumped up. We bounced off. We filled about half of it, right? So what are we catching resistance at right now? Well, we left behind some gaps. If you just look right here, I even said, look, this is what you're looking for. Back there, right off the slow. You're looking for like a little bit of fill the gap or the fill the gap, and you're looking for the bounce up. Now look, this CME gap that we left behind, you can see it right there. It's going to serve as resistance. The first time we tapped it, you see it was resistance. We reject it. So what you're looking for is, one, for price to sustain this trend that it's on right now, right? Got a little bit of a trend is starting to develop. You want to keep an eye on that trend, make sure that's still going good. I could show on the lower time frames, and then you want to see how price reacts. We're up here, we're starting to reject, but if you get acceptance into this, expect to come up to about 220 to fill this gap. Now look, if it continues up, the next target is around 227, 230. It's the next gap, but it also happens to be, it also lines up really well with a nice back test of this breakdown. So if they got up here with Amazon to 230, 235, it wouldn't surprise me before a bigger move down. But let's not get it twisted. I don't care what kind of pumps we get at this point. Market structure is to the downside now, guys. Trend is broken. Weekly high, weekly swing low, weekly lower high, and then we broke that low. That is a market structure shift. So any lower highs, you're looking to short. If you're, that's normally what you would do. I'm not telling you to short, but that's usually the play. So I would expect this thing to continue down, probably to fill this whole look. I would not be surprised if in a few months this thing is down here at 166, taking these lows out on Amazon. So throw it on there. You start getting down here. I mean, maybe, later in the summer, things start to look a little bullish. You see yourself down here. Maybe this is where you start looking to buy, or you start doing a little bit of research. But so far, these are the levels, Amazon. Let me go look at the chat real quick, order flow and SR. So, Cadell Joseph, we do use order flow inside of our Discord. I don't use it that much, like on lives and stuff like that, because I don't really go into indicators, but we do use order flow. We have a whole course on it too, tacticaledgetraders.com. Ben does a great job with that stuff. Support and resistance is support and resistance. We can teach you that if you're interested in it, but that's pretty much what we trade. Somebody asked for Tesla. And then I'm going to go do SWE. Sorry, I got to make sure my music is going good. No, listen to that. There we go. Snow. It is snowing outside. Or if you mean like snow the stock. Dude, BTC is just melting right now. I should have stayed in my short. So same thing with Tesla, man. Here's that March, April low I just talked about on Amazon. Started an uptrend. We lost that trend. Now look, Tesla is showing a little bit more strength than Amazon. Hasn't really dumped out the way like Amazon did, but it's still postured bearishly. You have a downtrend starting from here, right? You're beneath it. You have support here around 382. You lose that support, it's going to be a nice drop back down to 350, 360, maybe a little lower. So for now, you're kind of wedging up, right? Your best bet is, I mean, you can even see here, look, see how it rejected off that trend? It's respecting the trend. So if you can't reclaim this trend and you can't reclaim this 450, 449 level right here that I'm kind of pointing towards, I'd say this thing has more chance of going down in the medium to long term. Short term, it could bounce. You know, you could get a little pop back up here. You know, it could just do this for a bit before ultimately doing one of these. So don't be surprised if this thing hangs out here. But if you want to kind of get a better gauge, go down to your 4 hour. Watch, like you're starting to bear flag out right here. This may be the start of a move down. If this thing starts to kind of fade, you know, maybe you get a little sweep, and then you get a drop, a little back test, and then boom, comes down. Could play out like that. But if it inversely, if it starts to pop this little range and starts to, you know, claim it as support, you know, you probably come back up here to attack this 440 level. But I'd say a little bit more to the downside, in my opinion. With the volume, everything is kind of pointing down. So, but that's your levels on Tesla, man. I would say, like I said, higher time frame. I think a lot of things are pointing down, minus like gold and stuff. But we'll see. Wish I had trading buddies like you. You could have trading buddies like us. What do you mean? Join our Discord, dude. TacticalEdgeTraders.com. Start by following us. Hit that subscribe, that like. Check out, go into the links in Discord or go into the bio. Join the Discord. It's free. Join the website. You can, if you want to catch up and like learn about how we trade and like, so you're not like lost when we're talking to us or like sitting there and like, you know, looking at the charts, you'll understand it more. You can always take the courses. But yeah, it's free to join the Discord, dude. You can have trading buddies like us. We don't gatekeep. What's Ben's and Nvidia and somebody wants SWE. Let me go look at SWE real quick. I'm going to give some bullshit analysis on the fucking altcoins. I can tell you altcoins are going down right now, man. It's not going to be a good analysis on SWE. All right. Let's just get rid of everything. All right. So I talked about this level. We needed to break back above $1 to get to the next level, which was 115, and ultimately make our way back up to the range we lost. We lost this range back here. You can see about 130. And since we've lost that, it's been pretty much poised to make its way down to 57. So until you reclaim 130, man, 57, 52 is going to be the target down here. This wick low. And it's starting to look like it's going to be coming a lot sooner than later. You're already starting to break down here, right? You're starting to lose lows. Market structure starting to shift. In the short term, you're losing the range. If it loses this range that it's at right now, like where it's sitting, probably coming down to 56, man. Maybe they'll grab this wick. Maybe you get a little bit of a reaction down at 78. But I think once it's lost this, I think it's going to take it. It's going to come and take this low. So I would say look down to 56 for your next major bounce. Unless we can hold here and get by some miracle, Bitcoin starts to bounce and this thing can get out of here. I'd be looking down here. I mean, SWE's looking like the rest of the market like shit. Let me see. Oh, look, Bitcoin just lost that level we talked about right there. So here's my next trade. Since we lost this level, what I'm looking for BTC to make its way back up here and confirm the breakdown. If it does, and I get a nice little back test, I'll take it. But I'll also be looking for back tests up here if it does decide to go a little bit further to retest the trend. So those are the two areas I'd be looking for a back test. If we don't get it, I don't take the trade. But we'll keep an eye on that. Sweet is going to zero. Buy Bitcoin next time. Damn, dude. Just fucking going right for the jugular over there. I already went over SoFi, Dalton. If you actually want to go back into it's like within the first couple minutes of the stream, you can rewind back and check that out. We have to go back to that wick. It's on a lot of things, man. Some of them already reclaimed their wicks. The weaker ones, at least. I'm going to go look at Oracle real quick. Oracle's in the same situation, guys. Look, it's downtrending, right? Topped off in September. And it's been established in this nice little downtrend. Ranged around a little bit up here, right? And then eventually we broke down. And now we're starting to roll over. And I think we're going to come take this level because we front ran it, essentially. Let's be real. This was the level to come take. I'm going to go to my weekly. And you see, this is the weekly low. This is the daily low. This is where they were coming to. And they front ran it. So, and it's not gaining any acceptance back above range. We haven't broken market structure up. So I think 118 is still the target in the short term, short to medium term. Maybe you get a bounce down there. That's where I'll be looking. But I mean, for now, the trend is down. So play the trend. If it starts to bounce down here, maybe some divergence forms, we start to get higher lows and we break trend and start to form up, we could change our attitude. But for now, trend is down. So, no reason to play with that. So that's Oracle, man. I'd say in the short term, dude, like you could watch 132 for a potential like little scalp bounce, but I think ultimately 118 is probably coming. But look, maybe this is I'm just like trying to find bullish shit, but I really can't. Maybe this does this and breaks out, right? It just flags out and breaks out. It all starts with this trend and it starts with some market structure. Right now, we don't have it. So in order for market structure to form on the 4-hour, we would need to crack that high, establish a low, crack that high. So until we do that on at least a 4-hour, I can't like really start looking for any bullish plays. But hey, man, look for shorts, I guess, until you don't. By the way, guys, my name is Eddie. I am a trader at Tactical Edge Trading. We do live trading Monday through Friday. If anybody's interested in that kind of thing, we do teach this. We teach this kind of stuff. We do one-on-one mentorship. We do all that kind of stuff inside the Discord. But that's all stuff further down the road. If you're interested in what you're hearing, what you're seeing, check us out. TacticalEdgeTraders.com. Start at the website first, and then maybe check out the Discord after. It's free to join, and then see what it's like. And if it's for you, you stick around. If not, worst case scenario, it's free. It didn't cost you anything. Maybe a couple minutes of your time. But yeah, man, it's a bunch of real traders, full-time traders, some aspiring full-time traders, people, early in their journey, learning for the first time. All levels are welcome. And we do trade together and we share setups, and we are not a signals group. I'm going to straight up tell you right now. I'm not going to tell you push long here and sell here, but if you ask me my opinion on the chart, I'll give you my levels. And if I have a game plan, I'll tell you what it is. I don't hide anything from anybody. The only thing I won't tell you is when I'm entering, because I don't want you trying to like spam short or long with me, because then that's how people lose trades. Copy trading doesn't work. When anybody says it does, they're fucking full of it. XRP. XRP is gonna look just as bad as SWE, but I'll look at it, man. So that's Oracle. Let me go look at XRP. There's always one XRP person in the chat, without fail. All right, so I'm gonna give you like the quick rundown. So here's your level, 190. You lost it. That was your range for the bull market. You lost that level. You filled the wick. Remember I said some of those things filled those wicks? XRP was one of them. You're getting a little bit of a bounce off of it, but you're still beneath trend. All right, trend's here. So let's go down to our daily and kind of dissect exactly what's happening. Well, we came up to this 167 level and we attempted to break it. That would have been the gateway for us to get to that 190 to back test. We wicked up to it, we rejected it, and we closed back below 150. 150 is now resistance. It has been resistance, but it's strong resistance. So nothing happens to the upside until we get back above 150. Right now, we're starting to lose the support that we needed to hold, which was 134. If we continue down from here, I don't really see this wick holding. Like, I don't think we're going to hold at that support. I think we have a better shot of coming all the way down here and retesting this $1.13 level. So there's not much between us and here if we do start to lose this low. And we are losing this low. So let's see. Do we get that back test confirmation on BTC and then continuation down? Probably going to look very similar to as XRP. If it does, it'll probably do the same thing. So we're looking for something like that. Otherwise, what I'm looking for is, let me get rid of some of this crap here. Clean this up. Otherwise on XRP, look, if the bull scenario is we regain this level, we start to establish support and we start to mark up and attack some of these highs. But everything looks poised to the downside. So, I mean, unless XRP is going to pull a fucking rabbit out of its ass, I don't really know, man. It looks down to me. And I'm sure momentum's down too. Volume's probably down. It is. Like, everything's starting to go timber in crypto land. So that's XRP. What's my biggest win? You should ask Ben. Ben, I know I've seen Ben make more in a trade in one morning than most people make in a year. And I'm talking about doctor salary. But I don't want to throw him under the bus too much. My biggest win's probably about like a month's worth of salary in one trade. Like 3,000, I think was my, like 2,000 or 3,000 was my biggest. Yeah, about 2,000-3,000 was probably my biggest in a day. But like my biggest swing trade was a little bit bigger than that. I've made like $6,000 in like a week from swing trading. But that was during like peak alt season. Yeah, what's up with that, guys? Hit that like, man. I mean, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't cost you guys anything, but it helps us out. It makes me feel appreciated at the end of the day, and I get to go talk shit to Ben and be like, look how many likes I got, dude. Then he'll go try to outbeat me the next time he lives. It's like a competition between us. No, we don't sell courses, Ben. That's not our thing, dude. We don't try to gatekeep any of the things. If you want to go over to tacticaledgetraders.com, you get pretty much all the courses for free. The only thing that that's probably got to pay for at this point is like our not paid indicator, but Ben put a lot of time into building out his trading journal. He did an Excel spreadsheet trading journal, and I'm not sure. Maybe at some point he will offer that free. I know some of our members have it, but the courses are free, man. You can join Discord for free. You can ask questions. We have learning library in our Discord. You have access to me, Ben, Nick. Between Ben and Nick, they each have a decade of trading behind them. I got about 6 years on me going on. So, yeah, and we're all full-time. We're all profitable. We have a lot of full-time profitable traders. Well, actually soon to be full-time profitable traders. I know we have a lot of profitable traders in the group. I know Bosco just passed his prop firm, his funded account. Congrats to Bosco. I heard Ryan, he's been killing it. He's been profitable for the last couple weeks. Heard Mitch has been doing pretty good too. Like, these are some of the guys in the group that I trade with on a regular and talk to on a regular. And like, I know their progress. They know what I'm into and what I'm doing. I know Mitch is in a short right now on BTC and he's probably loving life. He's been waiting for this short all day. So yeah, check us out, man. We go look at Mexico. Wait, what do I think of the news in Mexico? You're gonna have to I'll probably have to go look that up because I don't know about any news in Mexico. Unless elaborate a little bit. Maybe it'll trigger something because right now I'm drawing a blank. Why I look at Microsoft. Okay, so the war. Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, shit's all fucked up, dude. Everything, man. It's not going to be good for oil. I'm going to tell you right now. Oil prices are going to go up. That means just getting to work, filling up your tank's going to suck. You already see people are flocking into gold, so the market's telling you how it feels. So everybody's on edge. Nobody's happy about it. I mean, nobody wants war. Nobody wants any of that shit. So Microsoft, look, we're in an uptrend. And we're retesting this trend back from October, November of 2022, right? And we're starting to like, it doesn't look strong right now. I'll be honest. Like it's trying to catch a bounce, but I'm not seeing too much conviction here, but we haven't lost it yet. If we do slip this trend, it's the next target's around 350, right? If we hold this trend, we do have that CME gap to the upside that we haven't filled on Microsoft, but again, if the whole market's coming down, I can't see Microsoft going against the grain. It really hasn't done too much to prove that it's like, the outlier here. But hey, support. So 392 to the downside is really what you want to hold. You don't want to lose that. And to the upside, your big resistance is probably going to be this 442. But if you do manage to hold here, that could be a target too. Let's say it sweeps, it reclaims, it comes up here. This could be a target for the initial first pass, could be a short. Just like every time we hit these gaps, if you ever pay attention to CME gaps, a lot of times the first time we try to go into them, they act as resistance. And the first time you attack resistance, usually it's a very high likelihood that you're going to reject. So I would expect something like that to the upside. Otherwise, it's going to look a lot like this then. If it doesn't manage to catch, let's say it does, starts to break down. It's going to start to make its way down to this low here around 340. And we're going to have to see what happens there. And if you lose that 340 low, you just start looking lower. 300 next. And then down to 220. These are the levels. Stick to your higher time frames. That's where price usually likes to kind of make its way to over time. If you zoom in too much, you can miss the bigger picture. But those are the levels really on Microsoft. Which oil stock is low float? Any idea? I don't know, man. If somebody has an idea on that question and can answer that, feel free to type it in and we'll take a look at it. Off the top of my head, I don't know. Cartel's fucking shit up. Oh, okay. That's what's going on over there, Kush. Man, I don't watch the news enough. I feel like if it's not coming from the Discord, I'm probably not reading it too much. Let me go look at Aster real quick. I want to go see how Aster's looking. Oh, damn, Kush, right at that level. It was right at that level we talked about, too. What'd I say? I was like, hey, look for it to come down here, see if we sweep this level and hold, or if it continues down. And I did say, as long as it doesn't lose this trend, man, stay in that short, right? That could be your indicator. Dude, if you could, if it starts to lose 68, bro, you might get your wish. Might be coming back down to this $60 level, possibly lower, but good job, dude. You're short from, you said 72 up here? Hell yeah. Yeah, I don't watch Twitter. I don't. Input on LAC. Let me go look at that. Lithium Americas Corp. What's up, Kay? How are you? I'm starting to recognize some names in the chat, guys. I appreciate the the audience having like a consistent following and stuff, starting to recognize people. Hopefully I'll see the same names in the Discord soon. TacticalEdgeTraders.com. Check it out. I know you guys are all subbing. You better be subbing. If I see you here more than once, you should be subbed. Because that means you enjoyed the content. This is such a good dip. It is a good dip, dude. It's been a fun dip. I mean, if you've been short, you're killing it. If you're long, you're probably hating life right now. Or if you're holding bags and you're in denial. Hopefully you're not one of those people. I was one of those people once. So I'm not talking shit. I know the pain. You get what I'm saying? So most traders start off losing, or they got burnt by the market and they're like, fuck this. But the thing is, they didn't give up. They didn't walk away. They're like, I'm going to figure this shit out. They're stubborn assholes like me. And like Ben's stubborn. I know he's in here still listening. The Discord link doesn't work for you from TikTok. Hey Ben, if you're in the chat on TikTok, can you throw in the Discord link? Kay's saying that she can't get the Discord link from TikTok. I can't check it right at the moment because I'm live, so I'd appreciate it. Get you set up, Kay. I'm gonna see if he's in here. He'll probably type it in chat. But anyway, I'm just looking at some levels, updating some things on this thing. So we're at major support right now. You see a weekly support around 434 on LAC, right? 1, 2, 3 taps. So we're looking to see, is it gonna break through or is it gonna catch a bounce here? Because if it breaks through, it's gonna fill this gap down here, back down to about 336 is probably my target. We filled some of the gap, but we left some behind. You see this right here? See how it's empty right here? That left behind a gap. Let me see if I can find the Discord link. Give me 1 second. If anybody in the Discord's in here, could you share the link in TikTok, please? Save me a little bit. Anyway, that's our gap down to 333. So if we lose this 434 level, expect about $1 drop. Good to take out this gap. If it still holds the support, your resistance right now is it's moved up a little bit because you've taken out the liquidity. So your resistance is sitting around $7. And that's kind of the start to where, you know, that's if you break that, then you can get back to all-time highs around 10, 11. But that's the level right now, and that's the support on daily. 4 hour hasn't made any market structure yet. It's just kind of sitting here. So we'll see what happens tomorrow when the market's open. Let me see something real quick. Hold on. Referral links. Give me 1 second, okay? I'm trying to see if I can get that link. So I'm going to type it in the chat. It's going to be discord.gg/tactical edge trading. I typed it in the chat. It's discord.gg/tactical edge trading. If you go into Discord, if you have Discord download, you can actually type in tactical edge trading, and you should see our Discord. But if you can't find it, go to the website tacticaledgetraders.com. Make sure you sign up for the website. It's free. It's not going to do anything besides ask for an email. And there's actually a portal that'll take you directly in. There's a link in there that'll take you directly there. I've tried it out myself several times, so I know that one works. After I get off, I'm going to check out the one on TikTok and see what's going on with that. I know the link for Tactical Edge Traders on TikTok is legit, though. It works. So if you're having trouble, check out that one. SPY over 689 equals good. SPY under 681 this week, not great at all. Yeah. Hood is dropping quick. It is, dude. Hood's going. If you haven't blown 2 to 3 accounts, you're not a veteran trader, dude. Ross, I can agree. I can concur to that. 2 to 3 accounts only. Dude, I have accounts that I blew when I first started trading that I don't talk about. Exchanges I won't even use anymore because I have PTSD of how bad I fucked up an account. It's like almost as if it didn't happen. And that's what you do in the beginning, man. You run away from your mistakes, and then you become a better trader, and you realize the mistakes are what make you better. And then you don't run away from them. That's when you start journaling your mistakes, and you start fucking going back and realize why you lost. You start breaking down the plays, just like an NFL coach. You know what I mean? He goes back over game tape and he looks over the plays that didn't work and why they didn't work. That's what you do as a trader too. It's not all glam and glory, man. Sometimes it's grindy, annoying, boring shit. But I mean, the reward is fucking endless if you get it right. Yeah, hell yeah, Ross. You seem like you know what you're talking about, dude. Join the Discord, brother. It's not just for new traders, man. If you're an experienced trader, we love that too. Dude, that's my favorite. I like bouncing ideas off people that are new because I learn from others too. Like, you know, there's things that I don't know, and I'll openly admit that the more you know, the less you know at the end of the day. So if I can meet new people, network, talk to new people about different styles, things that have worked for them, you know, sometimes it just adds to your playbook at the end of the day. Cava. What's up, Sweat? What's up, Ryan? Yeah, Eric, right? Let me go look at, somebody asked for Cava. Let's go look at Cava. I was trying to get Ben in here to talk. Me and him do a live together. But I think he was drinking today, so he didn't want to. He was being a little bitch. He's scared to go live drunk. I think he's scared he'll say something. He has no filter, maybe. That's the Ben I want on here, though. He doesn't realize that. I want no filter Ben. It's my favorite Ben. So look, Cava, couple levels. I'm going to get rid of this right here. So look, I'm on the weekly. We got a little bit of a trend break, right? We're getting the hints of an inverse head and shoulder starting to form, right? You see this little shoulder, head, kind of like a right shoulder. Zoom in a a little bit, you're holding up the trend, right? You're holding trend for now, and you're starting to bang your head up against the bottom of a CME gap that would take you up to about 82.78, maybe 83. If you can break this high around 72, I expect them to fill the gap. That's the target to the upside. Can it go higher? Sure, but I think that would be an easy target. Inversely, if it starts to lose the trend, then you're probably going to come down and start to attack some of these lower levels, starting with the gap that we left behind. Maybe that got filled. No, that got filled already. I'll take that back. I got to update this. It's been a while since I took the Cava. So we're probably looking down towards them around 52, maybe even 43 if we lose the trend. But right now we're above trend. So my eyes are a little bit higher, around 72 to retest 72. If we break it, like I said, 82 to 83 becomes realistic. It's in the cards. You break that level and you can go up higher. Maybe you make your way back up to 95, 100. What's the measure move with this little inverse head and shoulders? I'm surprised Cava's doing good. Cava's it's catering, right? Catering food. 98. Yeah, that's the target of the head and shoulders. So maybe we do get up to 98. Hell yeah, brother. Say what's up. Tag me. Unfair Philly. That's my like tag in Discord. So like if you're looking for me. So yeah, hit me up, man. We'll fucking chit chat. We could talk about how many blown accounts we had. Don't look. It's like Subway for salads. Okay, yeah. I thought it was like catering or something. There's a Cava near me. I heard they were getting pretty big. Sorry, guys. I gotta take out this dip. Fucking caffeinated, and I got my nicotine, my caffeine. I'm hopped up right now, guys. I gotta be on my toes when I'm like in front of the charts. But yeah, look for a little move, man, if we can break this 72. So you got a couple top steps on sale last week, say one? Hell yeah, brother. Were they on sale? I hear a lot of people like to buy those when they're on sale, and then like that way they can hold on to them in case they ever blow an account. It's a smart move, man. Light. Let me go see what light is. Oh shit, look at this thing. Damn, dude. Look at that. Well, it's safe to say it's going up. When the whole market's going down, this thing is going up. So let's just get some weekly levels marked out, right? Major level, 400. Wrong trend line. We want a horizontal. So major, 400. Then the next level is probably sitting here around 533 that I can see on the weekly. That's a weekly low. Go to our daily. It makes sense, right? That level makes... So look, as long as we're above 533, we're good. You start to break back below 533, you may start to look down towards the 400 for a bounce. But as long as we're above this, you're good. I don't see any weakness in the trend. It just looks like it's going up, man. So on the 4-hour, you could probably start to draw this in here right there. Maybe get some deviations back down to this low, like this previous high right here. So maybe you'll get a little bit of, maybe a pullback at some point. And if this trend holds, maybe it continues. You got some support around 617 as well. That's the previous high it broke out of. So I would watch that too. Maybe a little bit of a deeper dip. Could do something like that. It starts breaking back below this level here. Then you're looking back down to around 533. It's just range to range, guys. Look, see, this is one range. This is one range, right? Everything in between is just extra. So if you get acceptance back into this range, you could come back down to around 533. Lose that, you could come back down to 400. Above 617, you're good. You're chilling. You're continuing up. Looks like Lasser. Yeah. Now that Kathy Woods bought Hood, it's going to zero. Dude, that's fucking great that she bought it and now it just keeps going down. Cava is like a good Mediterranean Chipotle. Dude, that just sounds like a horrible thing to mix together, like Mediterranean food and Chipotle. Like, talk about, oh my God. Do we offer mentorship? Yes, we do offer mentorship. So look, if you're joining the Discord, it's free to join. But if you're looking for something a little bit more accelerated, a little bit more hands-on, one-on-one, we do offer mentorship. We have different packages on our website. You could check that out at tacticaledgetraders.com. We don't just take anybody. You're gonna have to meet with Ben personally because he's gonna be the one mentoring you. He would have to accept you as a student, and you guys would talk about your goals. You know, you do just like an interview before you for a job, like same thing. Like you. But what I can say about our mentorship program, Ben has taken several traders. I'm going to just use Bobby as an example. Bobby was actually Kush, the guy I was talking about earlier in chat, brought Bobby into the group a few months back. Bobby didn't even know what TradingView was. Bobby knew nothing about trading, nothing about the markets. Great guy, dude. Bobby's a bodybuilder. He looks like the mountain, if anybody's wondering. So don't go talking shit about Bobby. But Bobby now is profitable. Within 4 months, I think it was in 3 months, Bobby went profitable. Trading live money, real money on his own. Ben's not holding his hand. Ben's not telling him when to enter. They built a system. They check in. You know, they do their regular check-ins. Make sure he's on task doing what he needs to be doing. You know, if he makes a mistake, he's got Ben there to kind of like help talk him through it, kind of like, like a performance coach in a sense. But Bobby's trading on his own now, and Bobby's profitable. So that's what there's some power in learning from somebody who's done it before. And if you're willing to listen, if you're the type of person who needs that extra attention, or you want to just accelerate your learning process, because trading can take a long time. Maybe mentorships one-on-one for you. So mentorships for you. So check that out. If it sounds interesting to you. It's not for everybody, guys. Not everybody's coachable. I'm going to say that right now. So if you know you have an ego and you don't like listening to people, if you don't like to be told what to do, or told hey, follow the rules, and you got to kind of be a little bit responsible for yourself and have some discipline, and you just can't take that, some people aren't coachable. So if that's not you, then mentorship isn't for you. So Light, yeah, kind of talked about Light already. Big gorilla. Yeah, Kush. Now, Bobby's the man, though, man. You would never know by talking to Bobby that he's like a fucking monster. Like, I saw a picture of him. I was like, oh, shit, dude. He's standing next to a truck. I couldn't tell which one was the truck, him or... But, yeah. Let's talk about some other shit. Classic Ben, 2 old duels and he's under the water. Dude, Ben, I don't even know if Ben drinks. He drinks like whiskey or some shit, dude. He's like a fucking hard liquor person. Bro's over there fucking in like 0 degree Minnesota weather, fucking out there grilling on. You know why he gets drunk? It's because he can't withstand the cold, man. He's out there grilling in like 0 degree weather all the time. You got to have a few drinks to do that shit. Fuck that. Yeah, dude, he sent me a screenshot one time. I was bitching, like, dude, it's cold as fuck out. It's like 5 degrees. I sent me a screenshot, -30. I was like, I'll never talk about being cold again around him. I could check Micron. Is that the ticker? What time frame do you want plugged? Does it matter? Did Bobby punch the UPS guy? Get the fuck out of here. That's great, bro. Wait, why do you punch the UPS guy? That's my first question. That is great. Did he deserve it? As long as he deserved it. Just like he fucking UPS guy trying to deliver a package. Bobby just beats him up. Poor guy. All right, so look, I'm just gonna do a daily. Okay, cool. I drew my little trend on the week on the 4 hour, but it's a daily trend, right? We got a trend. We have our high sitting around 453. We have our low around 361. Right now, we're poised to make a move to the upside. It's consolidating. It looks like almost like an ascending triangle starting to form here. These have there are higher probabilities of breaking to the upside when you get these ascending triangles, right? So the measured move would take us probably to sweep the high. Let me just get sweeps the high. So I would be looking for a breakout of this 429, 430 to take us back up to 453, 454. What happens at the high? We see. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe do we get a double top? Do we get a slightly higher high? A double top scenario. Do we continue? Or do we break down? Like, those are the questions we have to ask when we get up there. For now, this trend is your friend. If you start to lose the trend at any point, whether it's here or whether it's up here and it rolls over later on, you look for back test, and you're probably coming back down to attack these lows at 361. So that's kind of what I'm seeing on Micron. I know I flew through this, but I've probably TA'd this in the last week at least 4 or 5 times, so not much has changed. But yeah, that's what you're looking for. So tomorrow we'll see what happens. Sent you a message Discord regarding the Kathy Woods Robinhood. Yeah, I got you, bro. I'll check that out when after I'm done this. Do you guys send buy or sell signals through text? How does that work? We don't do. No. In Allah we trust, we do not. We're not a signals group, bro, and we don't try to be. We're a trading focused group. We want to teach you how to fish, not just hand you the fish. If you want to learn to become a trader, we can help you get there. If you just want to be in a group and get signals, that's not us. I do post charts. I post ideas. Other people do the same as well, but it's not like we're not going to tell you when to push buy or sell. And guys, I see a lot of people watching right now, and I appreciate everybody tuning in on a Sunday. It's snowing here in Philadelphia. We probably got about 4 inches. Forecast about like 14. But yeah, hit that like, sub, follow if you're on TikTok. Check out the Discord, tacticaledgetraders.com. Free courses if you're interested. And yeah, you can join the Discord as well if you're looking for a group, if you're looking just to be about a bunch of other traders, real traders, not bullshit, not just some fucking Discord where, it's a bunch of people talking about nothing. We actually talk about real shit, like real market things that happen in the market. We have discussions, we have channels for crypto, stocks, commodities. We do it all. So check us out. Discords, links are in the bios and the descriptions, or you can get it all from tacticaledgetraders.com through the portal. Yeah, we could look at Google. I did look at Amazon already, Kay, so I'm going to go check out Google. All right, that's good. Because I don't want to look at Amazon again. Amazon's making me sad. I mean, Alphabet, Google, right? So we got this trend coming up from fucking summer of 2025, right? But essentially, the lows started when all the other lows started. Tariff lows around April, March of 2025. And we've lost that trend. We started to lose it. What we are seeing in the short term, and I'm going to get rid of that, is we're seeing a little bit of a bounce off this support around 300. Psychological level makes sense, right? It was a weekly low. It was just natural for us to at least get a reaction there. So the question remains this week. Can we reclaim some of these higher levels and maybe back up to the highs? Because that's really the daily high and weekly highs up here at 350. So anything below that is just going to be a lower high. So we would really need to prove something here or develop some market structure to the upside. But for now, range low, like I said, is around 295, 300. Highs at 350. You're getting a little bit of resistance right here at this. You're going to probably get a little resistance in this level right here. You could see it was once support around 320, maybe up to about 330, somewhere in this area. This just general box. And it also lines up with that trend. So if we do push up a little bit more, I'd be looking to see if there's a resistance up here and see if we get a rejection. So, but if we start to break above these highs, then I'm looking more towards the highs up here if we can reclaim that trend. But one step at a time with this thing. But yeah, and if we lose this level, I mean, look, if we lose this low, the next low doesn't come until, and we're going to do weekly lows here. We're not going to do anything lower than that. You got 270, and then you got one down here, probably around 235. So you just play it level to level. The way it moved up is the way it usually comes down. You see how it consolidated, pump, consolidation, pump, consolidation, pump. Well, look, dump, probably consolidation, dump, maybe consolidation. It's probably going to play out very similar. So you know what I mean? Just the way it went up. So you look for that. And yeah, any big events coming up? No, we just had earnings. Nothing really coming up for a while. So I would just watch this one. Wu-Tang Slayer just started on Kraken Pro and testing in general and trading in general. That's what's up, man. Congrats. Be prepared. Trading is a journey. It is not going to happen overnight. You are going to experience ups and downs just like anything. This is probably going to be one of the hardest things you've ever done, but one of the most rewarding if you can do it and you stick with it. If you want to give yourself a head start, give yourself a little bit of an edge, surround yourself by other people who are more experienced, who have done it before, and you can save yourself a lot of grief and navigate away from a lot of common pitfalls that traders do find themselves in. And if you don't have a group, you can always check out ours, tacticaledgetraders.com, and you can join the Discord from there. It's free to join. What else we want to look at? We saw Google, Seagate. What is Seagate? Technologies. Okay. So this is tech. Tech's getting smashed, by the way. I got a feeling like this upcoming week, tech's going to get hurt pretty bad. Nvidia earnings is this week on Wednesday, so tech's going to follow. And it's just, I don't know, man. I got a feeling Nvidia's going to dump this week. That's just my gut. I'm not trading off that. You don't trade off that. You can have a bias, but not trade it. So look, support's at 400. 390 to 400 is support right now for Seagate. If you lose that low, you could come back down to maybe this area here, somewhere around $300, about $100 drop. So we'll see what happens. Range high. Right now you're just chopping in a range, right? Could be a Bart Simpson, could be a bull flag. I'd say Bart Simpson's probably more likely, but range high sits at 466. So you see what happens. If you start to lose range low, the easy move is this. Look, boom. Probably somewhere down there. If it bounces here, then you start to attack the highs. If you break the highs, all right, then you look continuation. Right? Trend still up. But, I mean, it's been up. It's been pretty high up for a while. I mean, look at the monthly. So, pullback could be coming at some point. So I wouldn't get too crazy going bullish. But, yeah, that's the levels on STX, guys. Oh, you want to look at Webull? We can look at Webull. Noob question. How does news affect the market? XI trade gold. I have a friend who uses foreign website. Not sure how that works. Okay. So think about it like this. How does news affect the market? How does news affect people? Because people are the ones that move the markets. Am I correct? So if people are scared or uncertain, generally they're not going to want to have money in the market or in risk on assets. They're going to find, some type of safety. That's why people will pile into gold in time of uncertainty or times of war or when just in general when the markets are going down and when people are getting less risk on. So you just have to really ask the question is like how are people feeling right now about the news? If inflation's going up, and I can teach you all these different things if you join the Discord. I can't go through every scenario, but like these are things you'll pick up over time. If inflation's going up, that's going to cause the Fed to what? Not cut rates. What does that mean? That means that money's more expensive to borrow, which means that people are less reluctant to put money into the markets, put it to work because it's more expensive. So they tend to pull back. There's so many different like things, but it's all comes back down to people at the end of the day. That's the simple answer. We actually have, like, I can talk to you about news events, but the big thing you really need to understand is when they're happening and which ones are big. And then you can avoid trading those things in advance. You want to wait till after usually and then trade. You want to trade the aftermath typically. But check out the Discord, dude. TacticalEdgeTraders.com. You can get the links from there. And tag me. I can talk to you about that stuff. I love talking about news and how they affect, because I think fundamentals are important to understand. You can just trade off the charts and do well, but sometimes understanding the fundamentals can stop you from trading on FOMC day when the volatility makes no sense at all. So there's a lot to learn there. I'm still learning things like, now I know a lot of the U.S. events, but now I'm learning about global economic, events that could, move markets, There's other countries that do rate cuts. You got the Japan yen carry trade. That's a whole fucking thing. I can go into this for days. This is a whole topic. We've had meetings about this kind of stuff before in the group because it's just a broad topic and you can talk about it for days. But yeah, Webull doesn't look great right now, man. It's going down. It's been steady down for quite a bit of time, right? Sorry, guys. I have a little bit of a dry throat. I was trying not to cough inside the mic. We got support sitting down here around 570, 580. We're hovering right above support. Resistance on horizontally, like our big resistance is above us. It's around $7. So it's between this $6 and $7 level, and we also have this downtrend as well. So if price continues to do this and can't get above this trend, expect it to probably take this low and continue down. Inversely, if it breaks trend and starts to flip, maybe it'll attack this high up here at 7. If you can flip this trend, your next target's going to be up here around $7.80, $8. I mean, it just runs pretty much $8, $7, $6 is the way this is moving in increments of $1. But right now the trend's down. I could probably pull up my indicators, and yeah, I mean, there's no real signs of reversal yet. I'm not seeing any bullish divergence. I'm not seeing real strong money flow on the higher time frames, and then it looks like the 4-hour looks like it's ready to dump again. Like it's gearing up for another move down. So in the short term, at least. So I'd be a little bit more cautious with this one if you're going long, but you are sitting by support. So yeah, I think big step is getting back above this trend. But if you're looking for, like a shorter term play, you need to start building some market structure, and you don't have it yet even on the 4-hour. So until the 4-hour develops market structure, there's not much to say about this thing. The oil war is still on. Is bro offline? Oh, sorry. You thought I was offline? Yeah, man. Glitch in the matrix happens sometimes. Trilogy Metals. By the way, guys, if you're not following, hit that follow button. Subscribe. Hit that like. All those fun things. Hold on 1 second. Just reading something. I got an email about some market shit. Ben, if you're listening, I can't read your texts on a timely basis, so just write in the chat. Tell me to check my phone if you got something important to say. I'm sorry, I just like trying to balance all this shit. All right, look, so we're holding support here around 346, 350. We have a gap underneath of us that could be filled at some point, right? On this TMQ. If we lose this level at 346, I suspect this gap down to 240, 250 is going to get filled, right? It's just a likely area for us to go. It's what's below us, right? Maybe we catch a bounce down here, but if we lose this level. In the meantime, we're catching a little bit of a bounce, right? I don't want to fade it just yet. So what do? Well, we wait to see if market structure starts to form here. We don't have it just yet. I think we had a little bit of a trend, but it was kind of a weak trend. Yeah, I mean, maybe you can call that a trend. Nah, I wouldn't even fucking... We're going to say no to this. Sometimes if it doesn't look good, you chalk that idea, Trends are just visual tools, and sometimes they make sense, sometimes they don't. What I do kind of see here on the 1 hour is maybe you got a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders happening, but we got to see what happens when the market's open tomorrow. So this could be an early sign of a reversal here on support, but we need to really see what happens. So if we can hold support here, I will be looking probably up to around 430, 437 for some resistance right up here. That's the first level I would look, and then I'll probably look closer up to $5. But yeah, man, you really want to hold this 346. If you don't, I think, like I said, it's probably a good chance this gap gets filled. And if you can make it back up here, one, you'll be filling this little CME gap up too. So maybe we get back up to that 335 level. But if we break that, man, it's next up is around $5, like I said, right up here. And you can see $5 has always been like a pretty strong support because 1, 2, 3 taps on the daily before we broke out. And once we broke it, we ripped up to about $7. So those are your levels. You said bull is moving with Bitcoin. You mean straight down to hell? They're both just going down. Go big or go home. Fucking right. When does the market open? New York opens tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Asia's open already. Asia market's open, but they don't control the U.S. markets. That's why you see movement in like metals and crypto, because Asia trades those things. London will open around like 2 or 3 a.m. is usually when London opens. Eastern. Investing for first time tomorrow. Going to do VGT as well as CoreWeave, Iron, APLD, NBIS. Yeah, because they're AI backers and going through bad dips. Thoughts? If you're investing for the first time, I just want you to know you're investing in very highly volatile assets. Every single thing you just named is speculative volatile assets. Like, I would say stick to your indices and your higher liquidity assets, gold, S&P, Nasdaq. You know, maybe some of your big Mag 7 things, you can, you know, Apple, Nvidia, those things. But right now, I'm not telling anybody to buy. And I don't tell people to buy in general, but I'm not buying myself. So if you're going to be buying right now in speculative assets, especially when the market looks like this, just want to point this out. This is SPY. This is a representation of like the entire market. You see that? It looks toppy. If this thing starts coming down, all those things you just named, they're coming down with it, and they're coming down a lot more. So just keep that in mind. If you're willing to hold through the volatility, then you make your choice, but just be aware of that. That this thing, you know, these things could drop. Like the S&P could drop 10% in the next month or two. We could make our way back down here, 10, 11% down to 6,100 by the summer. If that happens, I think a lot of things are going to be a lot lower than that. So. And if you're gonna invest, do it slowly, man. Don't go all in at once. Take your time. DCA in. Keep yourself some cash on the side in case prices do go lower, man. That's just my advice to you. I'm new in this game. Download Discord and join as stock. I'm just confused there. We'll try to learn. Stock and stock. Yeah, man. I'll see you in there, brother. I'll see you in there for sure. Just if you're in the Discord and you're paying attention, be a fly on the wall. Listen to everything. Try to join as many as the free like educational sessions that Ben, myself, or Nick put on. All the meets that you're able to join, try to get in those because you're gonna learn a lot, man. Talk to people. Be active in the Discord. You know, watch the setups. If you have questions, ask. Don't reply to somebody's. If you wonder why somebody's looking at a level, reply in that tag in their post and ask them why. They'll tell you, and you'll learn that way. You know what I mean? Learn through like observing, versus having to go in the market and lose yourself. Your long LAC and TMQ volatility is just hitting left and right. I never sell at loss, so I got time. Okay, fair enough. Why is it hard to keep the profit in the stock market? I can tell you why it's hard to keep profit. It's because it's called greed. Greed, boredom. Our emotions are usually what get the best of us. We win money, and then we were looking for the next opportunity. Instead of just being happy that we made money and we didn't lose money and waiting for like the next good opportunity, we go for the next opportunity that's available, and that's the problem. And that's what we teach in the Discord. We can't teach you discipline, but we can tell you what things you shouldn't do if you want to be a disciplined trader. Get what I'm saying? So, just throwing it out there. Fair enough, man. Yeah, DCAing doesn't... Hey, look, if you're new, start with the big stuff, start with the safer stuff, and just, like, go in slowly. Because the price could be down 10%, 20% in the next couple months, and then you'll be mad if you went all in today because you'll be sitting in a drawdown wishing you had more money to buy. So, but I would say go slow because, look, if we are entering a bear market, we're in a bear market now for just for anybody who doesn't realize it. S&P maybe not, and maybe not Nasdaq, but crypto's in a bear market, and I would say we're starting a bear market. Once you start to see this 6,800 on SPY slip, I'm going to say we're in a bear market at that point. And like, there's no really denying that. So that's when things are going to start to come down hard. It's going to get scary. It's going to get a little bit like, you know what they say? The best time to buy is you buy the blood. Has there been blood in the market? Not really. In crypto, yeah. But has there been blood in like the US market? Wait for the blood. Wait for people to be screaming that like the market's going to zero. That's usually when you piss the best to buy. Or when people start saying some crazy number like Bitcoin's going to 10K, that's usually when you want to start buying. That was last cycle. Market ain't dropping that much, man. At least not during Trump administration. Okay. I don't think the markets give a shit who's in the fucking administration. Just throwing that out there. What's up, Joseph? Do I ever look at the daily or weekly Bollingers and use them as a trading factor? So the Bollinger Bands, I used to use them. I understand. What a Bollinger Band does is it shows when price is starting to consolidate. It shows like volatility, essentially. So if price is trading in a larger range, it's higher volatility. When price starts to become in a tighter range with Bollinger Bands, it's essentially all it's showing is compression. And normally that's right before a breakout. You'll get the compression. I used to use it for breakouts, but I have a different method now and just don't need them. But they're good to use. There's nothing wrong with them. Like if I would throw a Bollinger Band on right now, let me see. Do I have Bollinger Bands? I don't even have them on here. I'd have to, let me see. You see how ugly these things are? So if you go out to like a weekly, you know what I mean? It just shows you just the range the price is trading in. But it really helps. It's a lot better on like see how we're getting tight here? This is probably going to tell you that we're getting ready to make a movement either up or down because of the tightness. I just never really found a good strategy for them, and they take up too much room on my charts. I like a clean chart. I like my lines. I like my trends, and I like to keep my indicators on the bottom half of the chart if I can. That's just me. Nothing wrong with it though, man. It's just a grift like Bernie Madoff. What are your thoughts on Black Belt Trader? I don't even know what that is, bro. Is that a prop firm or like a exchange? Seeing BTC drop so much and currently teasing new year lows makes it hard to believe it'll ever come back. That's what people were saying last time. I'm gonna show you exactly. I want to explain. Remember I told you about that back test I was looking for? I'm still waiting for it, by the way. But it's coming. Let's go look at BTC a couple years back. When BTC was here, I'm gonna explain. You can pull up a news article. When BTC was down here at 17K, all right? People were pretty much saying BTC's a scam. You guys are all idiots. It's going to zero, right? When we had the FTX, not the FTX. This happened when the SEC. This little dump right here is when Gary Gensler made altcoins and all that stuff. He was basically it was all the aftermath of FTX crash, all happening right around here. This is all FTX. This is all that shit. Gary Gensler getting in. Everyone's like, crypto is done. This shit ain't coming back. None of that stuff. And then look, that was the bottom. Up here, people were saying Bitcoin was going to 100K. No one was talking about this is the high. Very few people called it the high. That's my point. It's when the sentiment's in the dirt and people are giving up on something, that's usually the time to buy. And when everybody's interested and everyone's talking higher, and it can never go down, that's usually the time to sell. Markets work that way. But the one thing about Bitcoin is it works on a 4-year cycle. So if you're looking for a good time to buy, just look for a year from when it topped. You know, a year from when it tops will put us back in October. You can go back to every single cycle and you can see the same thing. Bear market topped here in October. Guess what? We bottomed in October. The cycle before that was the same thing. I think it was like December or something. This one, we topped in October again. I mean, it's like the Matrix, dude. I swear to God, we're in a simulation. This is the world we live in right now. Thoughts on ETH? ETH looks bad, bro. I actually caught an ETH short today. So fair enough. Good stuff, Tiger. So look, ETH's looking a little bit weaker than Bitcoin. Why is it looking weaker? It's already broken down below its range. It's well below its range, right? Like Bitcoin's like right there. This thing's below it. If it can't get back above 1900, you're going to see ETH back down at 1700. And if it loses this low, 1400, 1500 is next. But look, we got some things. We got a trend. If we can reclaim, maybe get back above this trend, you look to start to attack these highs around 2000, maybe up to 2200. But right now, it's pretty bearish. You know, I'm looking more for this now. Same thing I'm looking for on Bitcoin. It's just it's broken that range, man. So, but there's always a chance. We'll see. I think it starts with that trend breaking and reclaiming this $1,900 level. But until it does that, I would say downside's more in the cards for ETH. Would you buy ETH or trade? I wouldn't buy any cryptos right now. Jared, what I would recommend, trading altcoins is probably the way to go. Right now, it's probably, unless you're shorting it, there's not much to trade. You can buy Bitcoin. I mean, I buy Bitcoin when it's low enough. I'll start stocking up. I wouldn't go buy an ETH though. I wouldn't go buying any of these altcoins because what happened this cycle is different than every other cycle, and we don't know how next cycle's like. Next year, let's say bull market starts next year sometime, or a year from now, 8 months from now, 10 months from now. We don't know how things are going to react. We never broke the previous all-time high. All we did was double top. See that right there on ETH? So ETH has now become like almost every other altcoin where it hasn't put in a new high. That is not strong. Like a lot of people are going to look at that and be like, this thing is done. So does that help it go up to new all-time highs, or does it? And it has an ETF. It has a lot of things going for it. So I don't know, man. Like I'm really like lost at this point on what's going to happen with the altcoin market. Do I think it disappears? No, but I think a lot of them are going to go to zero and never come back. And I think it's going to be, I think the safest bet if you're in crypto is just to stick to Bitcoin at this point. And then you wait for next cycle to see what, if altcoins do make, another comeback. If they do, it may be a different coin. Maybe it's not ETH. Maybe it's something else this time. I don't know. But hey, man, if you believe in the technology and you're willing to hold it long term, I mean, look, if you can get ETH at $400, it's probably not a bad buy down there. I'll tell you what, if ETH goes below 1,000, I might buy some. I'm not buying it at 1,400 though. Fuck that. So guys, if you're interested and you're looking to join the Discord, there are a few ways to do that. One, you can check the links in the bio and in the description. If you're on TikTok, hopefully you're following us. If not, hit that follow button. Sub on YouTube. Hit that like. You could check the links in the bio for the Discord, or you can go to discord.gg/tacticaledgetrading. The easiest way is to check out our website, tacticaledgetraders.com. You can join the website for free, and there's a free portal. A portal will take you right into the Discord, and then you can say what's up and come hang out with us and see what we're about and talk markets. And if you have more questions, you want to get into depth on some of these topics we're talking about, we can do that. Yeah, I agree. Bitcoin is king. Yeah, Bitcoin is king. Hype will be the new ETH. Check it out. I know what hype is, bro. But I know all about Hyperliquid. Ask Nick about that. Nick called that thing out like $3 before it even launched. He was telling everybody to buy it, and it went up to $50, and I was kicking myself in the fucking feet. Yeah, he was talking about it back here before it launched. He said, buy it, and then it fucking launched. It went to $40. Almost lost it. And it looks like everything. I mean, it's holding up better than the rest of the market, though. Give you that one. You're starting to slip support, though, at 27. So I'd say 21 might be in the cards if you start to lose this level. But, hey, if you can hold and break above 36, you might mark up higher. So we're still not DeFi, yeah, right? Our market's cooked. Yeah, money's rotating. I'd say money's leaving the markets right now. I think we're going to see this probably until the end of the year. You're probably not going to see a bottom for traditional markets like S&P and Nasdaq maybe till later this year. And you probably won't see a bottom for crypto as well until later this year. That's just if the cycles are the same. If the business cycle plays out the same way as it always plays out and the crypto cycle does, that's probably what we're looking at. Things could change, but it would be the exception. You know what I mean? Not the rule at that point. So, not going lower than 25 probably. I don't know. Maybe, man. If it loses this low here at 27, I don't see why 25 is going to hold. If you're hoping this is going to be the reason it holds, I mean, I don't know, dude. If I look at this on a weekly, it don't look great. Looks like it wants to come back down here for this $10. Especially if we lose this $20 level. This is definitely going to get hit. What time is it, guys? About 9:50. Shorting Sol is good right now. So I'm going to check out Sol, and then I think I'm probably going to call it after this, guys. It's been going for about, an hour and 40. I actually streamed earlier today. We did some CME prep, caught some trades based off it, too. Gold is running right now, by the way. It's almost at 5,200. Yeah, Sol's just going, man. Sol's just dumping. Sol loses a 76 low. I think it's taking out that wick at 68, and then it might even go lower than that. What's the next level down on Sol? Fucking $50. Jesus. Down here. It's been straight down, but that wick low at 68 looks juicy. I'm in this game. Okay. Anyways, guys, I think I'm about to call it. It's been a good stream. I appreciate everybody for showing up. Hit that like, subscribe, follow. Check us out if you haven't on tacticalhedgetraders.com. We have free courses, free educational courses. We'll teach you how to trade. We don't gatekeep anything. We are not course sellers. We are not a signals group. We do have a free Discord as well. And you can get all those links are in the bio and the description. If for some reason you're having trouble with that, just go to tacticalhedgetraders.com. We actually have a portal. You can join that. You just need an email address, and you can actually go right to our Discord from that portal. You'll have links to pretty much all of our content. Yeah, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the Discord. If you do join, tag me, Unfair Philly. Let me know that you joined from what you saw me on one of the lives, and if you want to chat about something, we can chat. But anyway, guys, I really appreciate everyone, and what's up, Caleb? I did see the hi. And yeah, until the next time, I'll be back on tomorrow night around 9:30 p.m. Eastern. So we'll do a market update tomorrow on what happened after New York, and we'll probably have some trade setups maybe lining up by tomorrow. So I will see you guys then. Until then, later, guys.